Hey beautiful people, what is up and welcome back to my channel. I am Jamila and I love all things beauty. I love all things makeup, I love all things skincare, and I especially love sharing my tips and tricks for how to find high-end and luxury beauty products at bargain prices. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I would absolutely love if you would consider subscribing and joining the family. Hey. Alright, so you guys already saw today I'm going to be doing a sort of first impressions but also a little bit of a review. Basically just testing all of the products or most of the products that I picked up during the Sephora VIB sale. Now these have kind of been sitting in a basket for a while and I'm realizing that the deadline to return some of these is coming up really quickly. So I want to make sure that I'm testing these products to figure out if they work for me or if I need to take them back to the store. When it comes to makeup, if something doesn't work for me, I will take it back. I'm not just going to have makeup sitting here unused and just wasting time in my collection because I don't have the space for that amount of clutter. So I have all of the products in a basket. I'm going to be using most of these. I think I did pick up 3 sort of eyeshadow products. I'm only doing 1 today, but the other 2 will get integrated at some other point. But I'm going to be trying all of the other like face and complexion products in here. Some of these I have used already, so this wouldn't necessarily be a first impressions. But some of these I haven't touched at all. So I want to make sure that I'm going through, giving my, first impressions, thoughts on it, and coming to some sort of decision on whether or not I will be keeping all of these or returning any of these because they just don't work for me. Alright, so without further ado, let's dive into the video. Okay, as you guys saw from the intro today, we are going to be testing all of the products, well, some of the products that I purchased during the Sephora VIB sale. I'm going to go in with the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. This is in the deep version. I did purchase 2 other sort of eyeshadow palettes, the bronze palette from Natasha Denona as well as the Patrick Ta Major Dimension 2. But let's do this one because it has a blush and a highlighter as well, and I'm a little late, so we kind of rushing today. All right, I'm gonna bring you guys in a little bit closer so we can really see the eyes. So I'm now noticing that there are directions on the shade names as to how to use them. I'm gonna go in with Transition because it is the lightest shade and I would use this as a transition. I'm using a Morphe A11 brush, just picking that up and going directly into the crease. That is a nice shade, and I probably could have, gone even with the light palette. Like if there was a lighter transition shade, that would have worked good as well for me. Things you do make me feel it's confusing. I don't really know what I'm doing. Then I'm gonna go into the shade Crease. It is a deeper brown. I'm gonna concentrate that in the outer V area. Well, in the outer crease area. Now I could use this as my outer V shade, but I want to see if I can use all of the shades in this palette. And I'm using a rougher number 14 because it's a really, really tiny blending brush and I want to have some control over where I'm placing the shadow. There, you can see it's added that depth and dimension. I'm gonna give the brush a light swirl and then I'm gonna go into the deepest shade, which is the Smoke shade, and put that into the outer V. I thought it would end like it usually does. Okay, this is what the eyes are looking like right now. Then I'm gonna go into the pink shimmer. It is the outer corner shade, and I'm gonna apply that into the center of the eyelid. I'm actually gonna start by trying to use a brush, seeing how that applies. Okay, that's not doing a great job. So I'm gonna go in with my finger. There's not a lot of base to this shade. Okay. Should we rush in? And then taking my other finger, I'm gonna go into the inner corner shade and I'm going to apply that to the inner third of the lid, blending it into the first shimmer. this is what the eyes are looking like. Pretty basic and simple. I'm just gonna clean this up with a brush. And then I will add some liner and come back to do the rest of my face. Okay, so the eyes are almost done. I still have to come back to do the waterline, but now let's get into the rest of the face. So I did pick up the Danessa Myricks Balm Powder thing. This was not during the Sephora VIB sale, but since this is a Sephora purchase, I'm gonna go ahead and use this. This is the shade Universal. I also have it in number 7, but I'm gonna use this as a primer today. I have used this twice before, so this is gonna be my 3rd time using it. And I think I like it as a primer. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this product, if I'm being honest. All I know, this ain't nothing. Should we stop? It's definitely mattifying though. So I'm trying to concentrate that into my T-zone area. I'm getting some pilling. Same with like the first time I applied this, it really pilled up, and still doing the same thing. Why is this only happening to me? For foundation, I am gonna go in with the Givenchy foundation. This is in the shade 6N405. I do have a full first impressions with a wear test on my channel using this. So if you want to see that, I will make sure to link it. I am definitely going to be keeping this. I've actually been using it for several days now, and I enjoy it. So it's going to be a keep for me. But I'm just showing you all these things I picked up during Sephora's VIB sale. No! Ugh, I'm gonna have to change. One of the things about this is the pump is either faulty or the foundation is just, I don't know. Like, this is brand new. Why am I experiencing trouble spraying the foundation? And now I have foundation on my shirt. It's just gonna be hell to come out. And now it means I need to change. Maybe I'll take it back and see if I can get a better pump. If there is a store, if it's in store and it's nearby, I'll actually return it. Because the pump has been giving me problems, which I've just been ignoring, but should I have to ignore it? During the sale, I also picked up two new LYS concealers. So I already had it in the shade DN3, which was gifted to me by the brand, but I picked it up in DG6 and DG3 because I wanted to try a lighter shade to see how that would, because DN3 is pretty much my complexion. And I wanted something that was a little bit more golden. So here we have DG3. It's definitely more golden and lighter. What I hate is that the wand really does get stuck in this component. It's quite annoying. And then I'm gonna take some of DG6, which is actually darker than DN3, so definitely not a great shade for me to have picked up, but it's fine, it's fine. I like to put it on the edges. And then I'm just taking the Sephora Pro Foundation brush and I'm going to blend that in. Show me some patience, 'cause I still got a lot of shit to recover from. Okay, I didn't pick up any under eye setting powder, so I'm just gonna go in with my trusty old Pat McGrath blurring powder. This is in the shade Yellow. And I'm just gonna set my under eyes and wherever I applied concealer. However, I did pick up a cream bronzer. I showed you guys this in my haul as well as on my Instagram that I picked up the Say bronzer in the shade Deep Bronze. This is a really, really rich bronzer. I am a little intimidated. Let me. Oh, that is rich. Okay, but it looks like it blends nicely. So I'm not really sure how to apply this. So I'm just gonna go straight in with a brush. So I'm gonna use the Merit brush. It is one of my favorites for applying bronzer and well, cream products generally. So I'm just gonna dip that directly into here and start bronzing my face. Just a little bit. And I am just putting that on the edges and just blending that in. I feel like I'm supposed to pick this up with my hand and dab it on for like hygienic purposes. So let's try that. Hang it up. This is really nice. Add a little bit more. I was a little intimidated by how pigmented this looks, but it is blending quite nicely. Okay, so I'm loving the way that sets. I'm just gonna set my face with my Dior Backstage powder. Oh shoot, I forgot to apply blush. Okay, for the blush, I'm gonna go back into the Glam palette and I am going to use this blush here. It is a cream to powder formula, I believe. So this is what that shade looks like. Yeah, it does look like a cream to powder. Okay, that's very pretty. So I'm just gonna see if I can use my rougher number 4, which is a little dirty. Ignore that. And I'm going to apply that to my cheeks. And while I'm here with the Glam palette, I'm just gonna go back into the Smoke and Crease shades and use that to finish up my waterline. So I'm gonna start with Crease in the outer half. Then I'm gonna go into Smoke, which is the deeper shade, and put that directly on top of it. And then I'm gonna take the outer corner shade, which is the eyeshadow, and I'm gonna put that into the inner half. Almost done. Next, I'm gonna go into the powder bronzer from Gucci. And I'm gonna apply that over where I applied the cream bronzer. So pretty. Ooh. Just gently tapping. Okay. Starting in this corner. I try, but you'll have to forgive me. And then lastly, I'm going to go into the highlighter shade from the Natasha Denona palette and use that to highlight my cheekbones. Oh, that's pretty. That is really pretty. I'm going to apply some of that to my brow bone and also as my inner corner highlight. So I'm gonna go add some mascara, throw on a quick lip, and then I'll come back and give you guys my first impressions, thoughts on some of these, and a little bit more of a review on others. All right, I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back, and this is the final look. It is a very, very simple, super duper, sort of everyday kind of glam look. Let me bring you guys in a little bit closer so you can really see some of the details, and then I'll talk about these products and let you know how I'm feeling, if I'm planning to return anything, you know, what's the deal. All right. Okay, so let's talk about each product. So first and foremost, the Natasha Denona, the Danessa Myricks Balm Powder. I am still not sure about this. This is the universal shade, which I have been using as a primer. I will say that I've used it about 3 times now. It definitely seems to mattify, but I'm having issues with this pilling up under my skin when I apply it. And I don't know if it just doesn't agree with the products that I'm using. I didn't really have that issue last time I used it, but the first time I used it, it did. And it might just be that the Refa moisturizer does not agree with this. So, I don't know. I'll keep trying this and I'll come back and I'll give you guys sort of a full review because this is only my 3rd time using this. And this product is so confusing that I really, really need to take it in and figure out how I feel about it. Next, the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. I don't know what I was expecting. I feel like, you know, people love this. People rave about it in some ways. And I expected more. But at the end of the day, this palette does exactly what it's supposed to do. It is a basic face palette. Like, you're gonna get a very simple look. Like, these shadows here are very nice. The mattes blend well. I did not like the shimmers because I feel like they were more topper shimmers. I feel like the shimmers here were designed to put over a matte because when I was applying this, I felt like there was no base to it. I was like, this doesn't have any real color to it. Now that it's settled in a little, I kind of like how it looks, but I also am like, this is not the Natasha Denona shimmers that I'm used to. And I thought that they would have more of a base to it. It just definitely feels like these are meant to be toppers that you put over one of these matte shades, which I get, you know, it is what it is. The blush, stunning, beautiful. This applied so nice. Now I went in with my Refa brush to apply it to my face. I felt like it did disturb the foundation a little bit on this side, but not on this side. But that is honestly my application techniques. I'm still figuring out how to apply cream products, especially like cream to powder products or cream or just basic cream powders. How do I apply that without it disturbing my makeup? So that's something that I'm figuring out. So I'm really not holding anything against this, but I think the color is absolutely stunning. I love how this looks for a very natural everyday look. My favorite thing from this, however, is the highlighter. I think this is so pretty. You get like a really blinding highlight. So if you don't love a blinding highlight, I don't know how you'll feel about it. But I think that's really, really pretty. Overall, I think this is a good one and done palette. I think you get a nice eye look. Not a lot of versatility in the eye looks, but it's a nice eye look and you get some really good face products. And to be quite honest, I could probably use the deeper eyeshadows in here as bronzers. So if you're in a pinch and you could only really pick one thing, that might be one that you might want to travel with, you know what I mean? So the Givenchy foundation, I like the coverage this gives. I like the color that it gives. I love the way it blends. I think that it's matte but not too matte. The issue that I'm having with this is that the pump in this one doesn't work, so I might actually just need to return this and get one with a working pump. But overall, this is actually a product I really like. I think you have to figure out what primer to use this with because I have used this with more hydrating primers and it has not lasted or been very matte. But I think once you find the right primer to use this with, you will get a matte look without it looking dry or like a flat matte. You'll get a nice sort of natural matte look. The LYS concealers, love this. At this point, I have 3 shades in this. I think the formula in this is bomb.com. The only issue that I have is that it really does stick here, so it's hard to get it out. And then when you do pull out the one, you do in some cases end up flicking concealer everywhere, which is annoying. But that's a packaging issue that they need to figure out. In terms of the formula, the quality, fabulous. I think I need another shade though. I want to try the tan neutral because I feel like the golden shades in this line are a little too yellow orange for me. And yes, I have a yellow undertone, I have a golden undertone, but I feel like it does lean a little bit orange and I am not orange. the Say Cream Bronzer, this I was very, very scared about because it is a rich bronzer. Like, look at how deep and chocolate and rich this is. But this applied one really, really nicely to the face and blended out like a dream in no time at all. So I am actually very, very impressed by this. It didn't feel greasy or anything, and when it blended out, I felt like it blended out to a powder, which I kind of like. So I've heard that this might be a good dupe for the Chanel bronzer, which I don't have, but which I do want to try. So once I eventually end up buying the Chanel bronzer, I will compare the both. But if it performs like this or better than this, wow. Because I loved the way in which this looked, the way in which this blended out. It definitely is a little red, but once it blended out, I felt like it neutraled up a little bit. I know that's not a word, but I felt like it didn't look too harsh on the skin. However, on the flip side, the Gucci bronzer is red. I knew this going in, so I'm not surprised. So this is in the shade number 5, and it is a red bronzer. Like, very, very red. It does blend out really nicely though. So even though this is extremely red, I would just say take your time, go in little by little, and you will really be able to diffuse it out so you don't look like you have a very, very harsh red bronzer on your face. The other good thing, or the reason why I'm not mad about this, is because we are going into summertime. I will deepen up a little bit, not that much to be honest, but I will get a little bit darker so it will look a little bit less harsh on me. But if you are my complexion, I will say that you can work with this. I've seen the one that's directly before this, and I think it might be too light, so this is kind of your only option. And yes, they definitely need to add more shades to the line. So yeah, it's okay. It's nice. It has a nice smell to it. It smells so good. Will this be one of my favorite bronzers? Honestly, probably not, but it's good for what it is. And I will definitely use it because it wasn't cheap. So I'm definitely keeping all of the products that I picked up today. I will use them. I don't think anything really blew me out of the water or, you know, knocked my socks off. But I think that they all performed well. I don't think that there were any real duds in the products that I tried. So I'm excited to, you know, integrate them into my routine, and I will keep trying them. So far, successful Sephora VIB sale. I do have 2 other products that I did not get to try in this video. It is the Patrick Ta palette and the Natasha Denona bronze palette, but they will get integrated at some point. When it comes to eyeshadows, they'll do what they do, and I know that those 2 have really, really good reviews, so I don't think I'll need to return them. So I will get to them at some point. Alright, so I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. Leave a comment down below letting me know how your Sephora purchases are going. Have you used all of them? Have you returned any? You know, what's the deal? If you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe and join the family. You know there will be tons and tons and tons of content coming for you guys. And as always, I love you so very much. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!